What's up, everyone? Let's go over some boxing news real quick. I also wanted to scroll through these comments in a hot minute over here about Zhang-Parker on the Joshua-Ngannou undercard. And I want to talk about, of course, because it's such a big fight, the Gypsy King, that is Tyson Fury versus Oleksandr Usyk, for all the marbles, if you will, because we know Tyson Fury has a belt. And the other belt, he's the Ring Magazine. He's the guy that beat the man, if you will. And Usyk has the IBF title, the IBO. There's so many titles, WBC, WBO, and this is going to unify the heavyweight championship. And really, the boxing fans like myself, real boxing fans, know one title. It should be it. There should be just one title. It's just so many titles now. Whereas back in the day, it's a whole nother story. The WPA, remember? The WBO, title was like nothing. It was like another trinket. There's so many of these belts. But anyway, let's discuss this fight. What has a lot of boxing fans perplexed, like myself, is the performance that Fury put in against Usyk last time. Because I felt like he didn't train, he didn't take the fight so seriously. Okay, train, what does that mean? A full camp? He probably didn't train as much. Well, you got Tyson Fury, if you don't know, he's an orthodox fighter, meaning his stance is just a conventional stance, whereas Usyk is he's a southpaw, he's a lefty. So, will Usyk pose much of a problem? Usyk, these guys are not young anymore. They're arguably, well, by the very definition of middle age, I guess 35 scientifically nowadays, 35-year-olds are middle-aged. So Tyson Fury's 35, Usyk is 37. But as you know, if you're a real hardcore boxing fan, over the years, a lot of fighters at middle age, when they're at a lighter weight, they have a lot more mileage. They look a lot more shop-worn, if you will, a lot more damage. Whereas heavyweights, like George Foreman in his mid-40s, wins a heavyweight championship, so they have the big punch. But Usyk works on more of a energy burning style. 37, he's on his feet, he's boxing, he's being really cautious at times, but yet he's a really precise boxer. But he needs to really be light on his feet and not heavy on his feet, especially when fighting a Tyson Fury. So at 37, we're going to see what happens, and it's going to be really interesting. Usyk won his last fight against Daniel Dubious, and then Anthony Joshua twice. Really good fights, but on paper you would think, because of Tyson Fury's height, 6'3" Usyk is, whereas Tyson Fury's a lot heavier at 6'9". I mean, the guy's basically 7 feet tall. So a lot of experts, so-called experts, are saying that Tyson Fury's going to lay on him, he's going to beat him up, he's going to wear him down, he's going to take him out late, tire out Usyk. But it's just a really interesting fight, because when you're a multi-millionaire and you have everything, and you give a performance against a novice fighter like Ngannou in your last fight, and you've been dropped, and you basically struggled to get back into the fight and make it basically pick him, like, hey, maybe I thought he edged him out in the cards, but it was just a really really disheartening performance if you're a boxing fan, to see what Tyson Fury did against Ngannou in his prior fight. So there's a lot of questions here, because if Tyson Fury goes in here and he's just not with it, meaning he's looking really sluggish, it's going to be a bad night for him. He'll lose on the cards. Tyson Fury cannot take Usyk lightly. He's got to really go in there and utilize all of his talents to win, and use his crafty skills and lay on him, beat him up, make it a rough fight, and wear him down with his weight and hang on him. If you go back, you would see Lennox Lewis learn this from Manny Stewart. If you don't know who that is, it was out of the famous Kronk gym in Philadelphia. If I say something wrong, I have no notes. This is from my head. Emanuel Stewart, his trainer now trains, his nephew trains Tyson Fury, or he did. He was with Tyson Fury for a while now. So he's going to learn all these tricks from that. That's where Tyson Fury will lay on you. Because if you watch Lennox Lewis, when he changed his style after the Oliver McCall loss back in the day, he got just hit out of nowhere by this guy Oliver McCall, and he got knocked out. This was a huge upset. And then Hasim Rahman, of course, the rematch, he prevailed. That is Lennox Lewis, but he got Emanuel Stewart. That was the. I don't remember when he picked him up. Was it the He had Pepe Carrera, I believe, as a trainer. This is Lennox Lewis. Anyway, he picked Kronk. Emmanuel Stewart was the perfect trainer. This guy was like a trainer, genius, throwback trainer from the old days of boxing, especially the 80s, probably the 70s. I mean, Emmanuel Stewart, he went on to commentate for HBO, but, you know, Tyson Fury is going to employ a lot of that Kronk style techniques onto Usyk, which he should. If he doesn't, it's just because he gets him out of there earlier, or the fight is going much better than he anticipated, where he didn't need to do these things. But he has so many tools in his bag, Tyson Fury, but can he pull the trigger? Meaning, can he rise to the occasion after his last performance? Is he too rich now? Is it just like, let me just get another check and I really don't care anymore like I used to care? We're going to find this all out. Who do you think is going to win? Let me know in the comments below, or share your thoughts. Is Usyk going to win on a huge upset? Because I would think that Tyson Fury is still the favorite, even after his last performance. It's going to be a really curious night of boxing for this card. It's going to be really fun to watch. I'm looking forward to it. And on paper, like I said, Tyson Fury has the WBC World Heavyweight Championship, and it's for all the titles. What I was reading before, Usyk has a few. It's from what I'm seeing here. I can't remember every title that they hold. I mean, there's just so many of these titles. IBF, World Heavy. I mean, I don't take this seriously. It's the WBC, the Ring Magazine title. The WBA has been around for a while, and IBF. These three titles growing up, WBC, IBF, and the WBA. Those three titles. The black one was, the WBA is green. The red was the IBF, right? And the black was the WBA, from what I remember. So it's getting to the point where there's so many of these things, and then they additionally have all these other titles. It's crazy. It's silly, really. So there should be only one champion per division, and if we're looking at one champion, we're looking at Tyson Fury as the legacy champion, the real champion, if you will, the guy that beat the guy, the man that beat the man. So we're going to see what happens with that. And I want to talk about this real quick. I'll just look through these comments real quick on Fight News. Zhang-Parker on Joshua-Ngannou undercard. The heavyweight division will take further shape when WBO interim champion Zelia, I'm probably saying his name wrong, Big Bang, I call him Zhang, 26 wins, 1 defeat, 1 draw, 21 KOs, defends his world title against former champion Joshua-Parker, who earned it with his win over Deontay Wilder, the upset win that broke my fight prediction streak and revealed a lot about where Deontay Wilder is. So Parker's 34 wins, 3 losses, 23 KOs. It's 34 wins, 23 KOs on March 8th on the Ngannou Joshua undercard, which is really good. Out in Saudi Arabia, they're making it happen. Zhang is coming off 2 consecutive KO wins. One was over Joe Joyce in 2023, and he was like 29, right? Because he's like 40 now. While Parker 39, because he's like 40. It's surprisingly, Zhang is he's up there. Talking about older heavyweights and how heavyweights can go longer, because the power doesn't go away, it stays there. The timing gets off, everything else may fall off, the gas in the tank, but the power is always there. While Parker, I'm reading this article and I'm adding my own words to it. While Parker upset former WBC champion Deontay Wilder in December, which we watched already. So this is going to be really interesting. There's more to the card, which I'm not going to really go into right now. I want to talk about this real quick. It's you know, it's a 50-50 fight. Someone's saying in the comments on Fight News, Parker is a really good fight. Someone says also interested in Vargas Ball. It says someone loves Zhang versus Parker, and mad credit to both guys for taking a very difficult fight at this stage instead of pulling off an Andy Ruiz. Somebody wrote, Brainchild wrote, I'd assume there are a couple of factors at play. First, I'm sure the Saudis are happy writing these large checks. Good for them. Yeah, because they're making this worth watching for us. So this person goes on to also say it's a 50-50 fight. And it says Parker has a skill set that might give him trouble, that is Zhang trouble. So this is a close 50-50. Me, if I had to make a prediction right now, just really off the cuff, Zhang has that big power. It's a really tough call. Parker's still only 32, I believe. I'm going to have to go with the age, the youth. Someone wrote Parker's now 32. He's basically in his prime for a heavyweight. It's definitely a 50-50 fight for me, someone else writes. So the consensus seems to be here. A lot of people don't really know who's going to win. Where I'm going to go and say Parker should win. He should utilize his youth because he is 32, whereas the Zhang's 40. He should try to exhaust him, make him tired, take him deep. I watched Zhang fight a couple times. He has that big power. I think Parker should win this. I would favor him slightly, but we'll see what happens. Could easily be wrong. That's what makes this fight really exciting, because you just don't know. Zhang should look to take him out earlier. I don't know. We'll see what 40-year-old does later in the rounds. If Parker could take him out deep, make him tired, and possibly win. I watched a better Biev fight versus Smith. Smith, as you saw this past weekend, I believe that fight went down. Unbeaten light destroyer, Better Biev. He's 20 wins, 0 losses, and 20 KOs. It's insane. I mean, he's a light heavyweight. This guy punches like nobody's business. Good luck trying to beat him. He looks unstoppable. So that's really exciting as well. I just want to say, not Parker. Going back to Usyk versus Fury, it's going to be a really, really good fight. There's a lot of questions are going to be answered. I think Fury is inconsistent again because of what happened. You know, I don't really know which Fury is going to show up. I know it sounds like, you know what I'm saying, like a cop-out. Like, oh, you really don't want to make a prediction or whatever. But I really don't know if Fury's going to show up. I don't know. He didn't look serious at all in his last fight. Yeah, sure, he thought it was going to be an easy fight because there's a novice MMA guy with no deep amateur record or anything like that in boxing. But I don't know where Fury's at. So there's a lot of questions there for me. But anyway, we'll see what happens. I'll be back with another video soon.